Welcome to Fulton's Cold Case. I'm your host, Chris Foss, North Fulton Community Prosecutor. In this edition of Cold Case, we will be talking with the Sandy Springs Police Department about a cold case involving a newborn baby. Plus, we'll profile a few cases and ask for your help in solving these crimes. All of this and more when Fulton's Cold Case begins right after this break. Welcome back to Fulton's Cold Case. I'm Chris Foss, your host, and the North Fulton Community Prosecutor with the Fulton County District Attorney's Office. The DA's office, along with a number of law enforcement agencies, partner to investigate and ultimately solve crimes in the community. And in almost every case, the cooperation of witnesses is what helps to obtain justice. Fulton's Cold Case takes a look at some of the many cases that have yet to be solved in our community, in an effort to bring awareness to the cases that have gone cold. Today we are joined by Detective Ryan Finley from the Sandy Springs Police Department to talk about a cold case from 2007. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Detective Finley, I understand that you brought a case for us today. Can you tell us about it?
I sure can. This case involves a newborn baby boy that was found unresponsive in a bag up in Sandy Springs on Applegate Lane near Long Beach Circle.
And when was this, Detective?
This was on March 11, 2007.
Can you tell us a little bit about the case?
Yes, we were dispatched out to that location in reference to a possible child found in a bag on the side of the street. Our patrol officers arrived there, and we did discover that it was a newborn child that was found deceased inside this bag.
And again, what time of day was this?
This was in the afternoon.
And who found, can you tell us how the bag was found?
Yeah, initially a boy in the neighborhood located the bag, and upon his discovery he wasn't sure what he had found, so he brought it over to his mother to double check on it. And once his mother, who was a nurse, looked into the bag and realized what it was that she thought it was, she called 911, and then we responded to that location.
Can you tell us anything about the newborn that was found?
He's a male. His race is undetermined at this time. He's believed to be possibly white or Hispanic, and based on the evidence there at the scene, it appeared that he was newborn, as in born that day, not days prior, but just that day.
And what efforts have you done already in looking into this case with regards to seeking assistance from the public?
Well, we've done everything possible that we could imagine doing. We've solicited the help of the public. We've had billboards. We've run news ads. We canvassed the neighborhood back in 2007. Every bit of evidence that we had that looked like it could possibly bring us somewhere, we had that analyzed. We sent samples to the GBI crime lab for analyzation. And then again, periodically since 2007, we've pulled out the case file again to try to see if there's anything that we may have overlooked, anything new that we could do, any advances in technology that we could see if it could help us to solve this case.
When did you recently reach out to the media on this case?
Recently, on the anniversary of the 8th anniversary of the child's death. The little John Doe would be 8 years old now, and that was this last March, 2015. We reached out to the public again with a media blitz and Facebook social media forums to try to see if anyone might see the story and remember something from 2007 that might help us in solving this case.
Detective, can you remind the public of safe places that parents can take an unwanted child without judgment or questions?
Sure. A child can always be brought to a police station, a church, a hospital, and there are safety plans in place for parents who maybe don't have the means or the ability to care for a child that can turn in a child in a humane way to get help for that child so that that child can have a life and doesn't have to be just discarded like this child was.
Now, Detective, I know this is a sad situation, but is this something that happens often in your experience?
No, not at all. This is a very rare case, and to date it's our only unsolved homicide in Sandy Springs.
At this point, Detective, what is it that the public can do to assist the Sandy Springs Police Department?
The public could assist us by anyone that has any knowledge of someone who they believed should have had a child back in 2007 who was pregnant leading up to the expectant birth, and then all of a sudden maybe didn't have a good explanation to where that child went. Maybe just in the back of their mind they had a suspicion that they weren't getting the full story from someone that they knew, from that family member or friend. And if those people could come forward and reach out to the police department with that information, then that would be something we could follow up on, and then maybe through DNA try to link this child to the parents.
Now, Detective, do you have a number that people can contact, or should they contact anyone specific there at the police department?
They can call 911 and anywhere if they just need to report information they have for the Sandy Springs Police Department. But if you want to call the Sandy Springs Police Department, that number is 770-551-6900.
Thank you, Detective Finley.
Thank you.
You for coming here today.
My pleasure.
Stay right there. We'll be right back with a look at today's cold cases. Welcome back to Fulton's Cold Case. Today's first cold case is the story of Lisa Troutman. Lisa's partially clothed body was discovered in her kitchen on Pine Street on February 11th, 1992. Lisa had been almost decapitated and died as a result of multiple stab wounds. Our second case is the case of Vicki Lejeune Taylor. On September 13th, 1996, Vicki's badly decomposed body was discovered in a wooded area near Hollywood Road in northwest Atlanta. Her partially nude body was covered by a truck bed liner. The time of death was determined to be up to 3 months prior to the discovery of her body, and the cause of death was multiple blunt force injuries to the head and chest. If you have any information on these cases, please let us know. You can call Crime Stoppers to leave your anonymous information, or you can also contact the District Attorney's Office at atlantada.org. That wraps up this edition of Fulton's Cold Case. I'm Chris Foss. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.